mean, when I looked down and saw, my bone sticking out, I knew it was bad. I knew it was, I felt pain before, and this was a pain that I've never felt before.
Paul George meeting the media on Friday and discussing for the first time the events of 2 weeks ago. He's as determined as ever to return, vows to be better than ever as well. But what about the short term?
Paul, take a step back here. What's left with this team? Fans obviously want to know how good this team can be now.
This team is still competitive. I don't want the fans to, lose hope, lose sight of what, Coach Vogel built, Larry put together, what KP put together, what Herb put together. This team is going to, be a team that's going to go out there and compete. I look forward to them, still, having the same drive, the same commitment. Being the team that everybody came to love out here in Indiana.
Well, several players on hand Friday at head coach Frank Vogel with a seat as well. Vogel approaching his 4th full-time season as the head coach. Was on vacation at the Virgin Islands when he got the news about Paul's injury. Great to have Frank in studio tonight on Sunday Sports Extra. Looking good. Tan, ready to go. Other than that news, how was the vacation to the Virgin Islands?
The vacation was fantastic. Always is down in the Caribbean.
Not bad. Just your thoughts when you got the call. You said your phone was lighting up. I believe one of your daughters saw, texts on there like, "Dad, you might want to look at this." Yeah,
we came back and just saw the all the text messages from my staff, and first reaction was what's going on, what happened.
Right.
And then there was mention of the injury, and the video was available, pretty easily too. So, you check it out, and your heart breaks, and you're disappointed for the kid, and your mind's wandering all over the world,
Sure.
with these worst case scenarios, that are popping in your head, and thankfully, everything lined up after the injury, with best case scenarios.
Yeah.
There wasn't any damage to the knee, to the ankle, to the ligaments, the nerve, no nerve damage. So everything falls in line for a reasonable belief for a full recovery, and it's just going to take a little time.
He said he watched the video once, and that was enough. How many times did you watch it?
Once,
and that was enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got, and still has, tremendous support from his teammates, from other guys in the NBA, LeBron, Bosh, Kobe, and that. But I mean, even Friday at the news conference, George Hill was there, Roy was there. Who else am I missing? Who else was there?
Well, Chris Copeland was in the back also.
Copeland was there.
They've been the 3 guys, that have been in working in town here.
Right.
Shane Whittington also was around. But, those are just the guys that are in town right now. The coaches were around, and, we're all just here to support them right now.
Yeah. I mean, just watching the news conference itself, I was very impressed by how Paul has kind of become, and I hate to use this term, at peace with it, but I think he kind of is, isn't he?
He is. Well, I mean, he understands it's going to be a long road ahead. Certainly, he's frustrated he's not going to be out there, playing and being able to help his teammates and just doing what he does. I mean, this is his passion. This is what his whole life revolves around. So it's going to be a bit of a change for him, but certainly he's in good spirits.
It would be so easy to blame the basket stanchion or USA Basketball. He's not doing any of that.
Right. I mean, there's, things happen. I mean, this is professional sports, and injuries are part of the game, and it's just one of those things. He's gotten a lot better playing at USA Basketball the last couple of years. A big part of his development has been playing with those guys.
And he still wants to play the Olympics in 2 years.
There's no question. Sometimes you do the right thing and you get the wrong result. It doesn't mean you don't do the right thing again the next time.
Should guys in the NBA stay committed to USA Basketball, you think?
I believe so. Yeah, I absolutely believe so.
Well, you understand the knee-jerk reaction is maybe we shouldn't be doing this because what's at stake?
Look, there's risk in everything you do, and you're competing, with the best competitors in the world, a great coaching, system with what Coach K and them are doing, and it's an opportunity to get better. And if you're a true competitor and if you're truly striving to be great, you want to be amongst the best. So I think it's important from your individual development. I think it's important to represent your country, and there's going to be risk in anything you do. If he does that in a pickup game, somewhere
at the YMCA.
Yeah, at the YMCA, maybe doesn't have the medical attention that he was able to get, and maybe things are different right now. So injuries are part of the game. It's just something that every player has to live with.
What were the emotions that you went through, or maybe Larry or Kevin Pritchard? I mean, did you guys start blaming the stanchion, how close it was to the floor, or I mean?
Not really.
No?
I mean, I think it's just one of those freak things.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been playing at that gym for how many years, and have never had any kind of situation like this. And like I said, college players, NBA players play in college arenas or facilities all summer long.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it could have happened anywhere. It's unfortunate. It's a tough blow for our franchise and certainly for Paul. But like I said, injuries are part of the game.
Here's the deal. I saw how he arrived Friday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Take a look at the video. Now, he can't really drive for a couple of weeks, I'm thinking.
Cannot drive. It's his right leg.
So can we borrow the car? I mean,
I've asked him for it. I put in, I think I have a once a week situation where I can take it out into town.
Wait a minute.
Have some fun with it.
Can you sublease it? Can you sublease it to me then at that point?
Oh wait, that's just what his parents told me. I could do that when he's not looking. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
You and I would look pretty good in that. I'm just saying. Well, anybody would look pretty good in that car. But anyway, where does the club go from here? I know that's probably the immediate talk right after this injury.
We go to win games. I mean, we still have plenty of capable players on the roster. We got new players that we brought in, Rodney Stuckey, C.J. Miles at that position.
Right.
A young guy in Solomon Hill, who I think would have had a great rookie season had he gotten an opportunity. We just had such great depth at that position last year that he didn't get an opportunity. So, we believe in what we represent. We have a winning culture, a great system, and we have all-star caliber players on our team. Yeah. So, we feel like we can compete with the best, and that's going to be the plan.
Sean Marion, we heard, has decided to go to the Cavs. Maybe you're not that surprised by that, or is that disappointing?
No, I mean, he mentioned that, he wanted to go play for a contender. You could sort of sense that, his heart was trying to join LeBron and those guys. And, we had a conversation with him to see if he had interest here, but, he chose there.
Lance Stevenson decided to play down in Charlotte instead of with the Pacers. Surprised by that decision at all?
I was.
Disappointed.
I mean, I think there was some things, just involved with the negotiations, that it wasn't as simple as him just wanting to leave. It's just one of those things that, we wanted him back here very badly. He wanted to be back, but when you get into negotiations, sometimes things don't work out that way.
Of the guys coming back now, I've heard great things about the work George Hill's put in the offseason.
No question.
We've seen some pictures of Roy Hibbert hanging out with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which ain't a bad thing, at least on the basketball floor anyway, which is a whole other story. But anyway, tell me about the offseason. I mean, Hill, I guess, is putting in a tremendous amount of work right now.
We almost have to try to back him off a little bit. He's working that hard and, putting up over 1,000 shots a day.
Right.
Movement shots, too. I mean, hard cuts, off the move, full court sprints. It's something that, is as impressive of an off-season routine as I've seen since I've been a coach in this league. So, when a guy works that hard and has the ability like George does, you're going to see really good things happen. And, we're excited about that. Roy Hibbert's, like he always is a regular in the gym. Did some great work with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming in to just give him, some different perspective on some things. And, I think those guys took a lot of heat last year, for not producing at a high enough level.
Roy especially took a lot of heat.
Right, but everybody forgets that Roy's primary responsibility is to protect the rim.
Right.
We're the best defensive team in the NBA.
As you said before, yeah.
And I think it's a lot of it is unfair. Certainly we want his rebounding up, but he didn't get a lot of offensive opportunities with Lance Stevenson and Paul George's emergence as stars. So he took some, I think, unfair criticism for that. And I think with those guys not in a Pacers uniform this year, I think that both George and Roy are going to have bounce back years.
Tell me about your thoughts quickly on the new look East. We got LeBron playing in Cleveland, Pau Gasol's in Chicago now. Things have amped up a little bit here, haven't they?
No question. And I think the big thing is Derrick Rose's return.
Right.
He obviously takes them from being a good team on paper to a great team on paper. And certainly they'll be one of the favorites to win the East. Obviously with LeBron and Cleveland will be one of the favorites. Yeah. And then I think you have a bunch of teams that could all wind up from 3 to 9 or so, and I think we're right in that mix. I think if everything goes well, we can compete with the best. We've got to have a great season. We've got to bring it every night, play harder than everybody else every night. But I see us doing that.
Amazing how things can change within a span of a couple months.
It sure is amazing.
Wait, your job was on the line in April, I thought. What are you still doing here?
Wait, I'm an NBA coach. My job's always on the line. What do you mean?
Last thing, I thought about this coming in today. David Letterman is retiring next year.
He is.
Okay, so we've got only a finite amount of time for you to get back on the show to reprise your effort from 1986. And look at, this is what, your 8th grade or so?
Good-looking kid.
Look at that kid, huh? Your famous, somewhat famous, stupid human trick with the ball and the toothbrush. See, we should do this again.
We should do this?
Yes, you should go back on Letterman and do this. Letterman's an Indiana guy, right? Look at this.
Well, he's got a, last year of his career, he's had a long, successful career. I think he's probably got some A-listers ahead of me in line.
I don't know. Well, see, if he's going to have the head coach of anybody in the NBA, it's got to be the head coach of the Indiana Pacers. Of course. I'm just thinking. So anyway, great to see you again. Enjoy the rest of the off-season. You guys will be back at camp here in 2 months.
Before you know it, yes.
It's a matter of weeks at this point.
End of September.
Awesome to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Frank Vogel, head coach of the Indiana Pacers.